as we heroically wend our way.
Redacted word. Redacted word bound.
Exactly. And one thing it has occurred to me to say on this drive is, a question.
Yes.
Are we cheating for a long time here? Have we departed from our initial sort of promise that we would discover things en route? Because we've been coming in with stuff that's on our mind. And this makes me wonder whether our gazillion listeners, like of them, are some fleeing in droves because they're like, no, this is not meta.
I mean, to answer your question, if they were fleeing in droves, we wouldn't have any listeners left. So this would be a real Zen exercise. But are you also suggesting that we should come to this and perhaps meditate for the first 45 minutes of the drive without saying anything, so that we can come up with what we say, so that we come with completely clear, fresh minds, like, Picasso, who had to learn to paint as a child does after having mastered the chiaroscuro and the anatomy and whatever to the level of the masters by the age of 14. We should throw away everything that's in our brains from the last, respectively, 71 and almost 30 years. Everything that we bring to the table and just, except perhaps how to drive, in your case, and come to this completely fresh, like we're discovering the world for the first time.
So in answer to your fairly lengthy question, maybe.
Episode 29. It's Showtime. In this episode, your hosts Steve and Mal hurtle from point A to point B while examining the stuff of dreams and dread, live performance. Everyone up on stage for The Ride to Redacted. Listeners, please be advised there are occasional cuss words in these episodes, so now you know.
But like, this is the same drive. We do the same drive every time.
Right.
And while it's always fresh and exciting and you never know what vanity license plates you are liable to see,
right.
There's a lot of great stuff that happens outside of this that people need to know about.
Yeah, okay.
For example, I had my drag debut. If we were only talking about...
you already had that. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
And if we were talking about merely things we saw on the drive, nobody would get to hear about.
Yeah, and then, you'd always want to, cheat and, see something that... Well, it wouldn't be cheating necessarily, but that it would remind you.
It's like when they're you're feeling art blocked, creatively blocked, you have to go out and experience other people's art. So, you have to go out and live your life, widely and vividly, and really enjoy it deeply, and have a breadth of experiences so that you can podcast better.
Right. Well, so all of this makes me think, fuck the purism. Tell me about the drag thing.
Yes.
All right.
So I want to tell you about the drag thing. But I mean, I think I had something else to say in response to what you were asking.
Right.
But yes, okay, so...
You can come back to
So originally... No, I remember. Originally, we were the meta quest is we're in search of a theme. And
right.
I think early on, maybe the first or second episode, I said, you can't draw a line... you need 2 data points to draw a line.
Right. And we only had 1.
Yeah, and now we have 26.
Right.
I mean, we have more, but released 26.
Right.
And so you can draw a line. You can start to plot our theme, and you can draw a line, and you can start to divine or discern or perhaps augur the theme from our episodes. I think we may be in search of the theme, but who are we to say what that theme is? I think it is revealed to the keen listener in the fullness of time. I'm going to make them work for it.
Well, so everything you just said,
yes.
I didn't know that we meant. I'm not sure I did mean myself that we were in search of an overarching podcast wide theme. I was more thinking
from the very beginning. That's what I thought we were doing.
So we've been on different paths.
Yes.
We just discovered it.
Yes, and you know what?
Wow.
It's all about the journey. Man.
Yeah, I guess so. But we've been on slightly different journeys, even though we're in the same car going to the same place.
Whoa. We should meditate on this for 45 minutes.
Jim Henson. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm not able to do it. Whoa. That was more Keanu Reeves. Whoa. Okay. So I think I've told you I had just free associating here for a change.
Okay.
I did have a classmate at improv, at the Magnet Theater in New York, who had worked as a puppeteer at the, Jim Henson, whatever.
Factory.
Yeah, Henson thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was on the Muppets per se, but in the Henson verse.
Sure.
And I'll try to remember her name. It's got a W. It'll come to me.
In the beginning? Or just in it somewhere?
I think her last name starts with a W.
Okay.
But it's not Weinstein.
Okay.
Which is probably just as well.
Okay.
But a very talented improviser, as I will always remember this one moment when, as sometimes happens, it was kind of a lower level class, whatever, level 1, level 2 maybe. Inevitably it would have been one of the guys in the class, was kind of like physically sort of moving in on her in a sort of predatory way. And I've seen this happen. And, it's usually guys. And it's a little cringy. And, the women in the class was like, back up. But she was like a black belt, puppeteer. Henson level, black belt, whatever. And immediately, without hesitating, reacted to him, they would do a scene and the classroom is the stage, and there's a big, part of the room that is not occupied by chairs where people do scenes. And the rest of us are watching, and so what the thing he was doing was that he would advance on her sort of as the scene was going down, and inevitably the reaction when somebody does that is like you move back, and instead of doing that in a sort of vulnerable way to this fairly dickish kind of movement, she immediately went into running around the room at high speed in a circle, which, was even impressive gymnastically because she sort of had to lean in towards the middle of the circle. And it just, the energy of the predatory encroachment got translated into her running around at high speed in a circle, completely negating whatever dickishness he was probably not even aware that he was looking to impose, and just translating it into circular energy. It was like Tai Chi, but improv / Muppet, and it was just it just gladdened my heart. And I still don't remember her name. Damn it.
Think on it.
Wine something. Wine something? What else goes with wine?
Cheese.
Yeah.
Can I tell you about my drag?
Oh, yes, please do.
So this was a show that MJ, a friend of mine, put together for their 29th birthday. They wanted to make their drag debut, and so they were like, everybody has to perform something. So it didn't have to be a drag performance or anything like that. Some people just did PowerPoints. Some people, did like a type 5.
Wait, PowerPoint?
Yes. Some people did a type 5.
Sorry, delayed reaction. Like, what word is the farthest I could think of from drag?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were
PowerPoint.
They were kind of the farthest from drag.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a variety of different things, different talents on show. And mine was drag, and I have really bad stage fright, as I've probably discussed earlier in this podcast.
Yeah, which is amazing to me, given your awesome podcasting chops. But I guess we're not technically on a stage.
No. And it also took me a little bit to get into this.
Okay. As it did for our listeners.
Yeah. These things are probably related, but
wouldn't it be cool if of the 4,000 something visits we've had
to our WordPress website?
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if, like, inevitably a lot of those are bots?
Sure.
But if there were bots that got hooked,
they were like, "Oh, this is pretty good,"
and they just sit around bot-like, drinking whatever bots drink.
Oolong.
Oolong?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that.
Now you know. Well, now you know.
Okay. So the show, your stage fright, yes.
Yeah. So the show was on Friday night. I don't have work on Thursdays, so I spent that getting my stuff ready for that. So I was gonna make myself tear away cargo shorts, khaki cargo shorts, because the idea was so funny to me that I had to try.
Right.
And so I wanted to get, these strips. You can get these fabric strips of snaps. There's already snaps inset into them, and it's the two sides, and so they're spaced perfectly and whatever. And so I was just gonna sew them up one side and down the other of my cargo shorts that I bought for this, and they didn't have them at the fabric store, and so I was hand sewing individual snaps for hours, and then it's like midnight on Thursday night, and it's Friday night that this show is, but I really want to get everything done on Thursday so I don't have to do it on the day of. So I sew the snaps on the thing, and after hours I go to put the pants on, pull it up, and they won't stay shut enough for me to pull it up without just popping right off. And I was like, no, I can't even wear it. I can't, sit in it and then get up and then dance and then, have my big reveal without them just falling off. So my backup, because I only had one pair of cargo shorts, was to sew them back together after spending hours sewing snaps onto them. So I just crudely hand sewed them back together, so they were no longer tearaways.
So you would have to just take them off.
Yes, correct. And that was fine.
Okay.
But it was fine because I had other reveals.
The show must go on.
Well, yeah. So the song was "Murder at the Bingo Hall" by Amigo the Devil.
Okay.
And
you lip sync.
I think I was actually singing, but yeah.
Okay.
And I was dressed kind of like John Goodman as Walter in The Big Lebowski. I had yellow tinted aviator shades. I had a bandana, just rolled up into a little strip across just the top of my forehead, and my hair slicked back. I was wearing a Hawaiian shirt and khaki cargo shorts and sneakers. and I had makeup on, obviously, and I had a toothpick in my mouth. And so when the music started, I took the toothpick out of my mouth and I flicked it across the room.
Nice.
And yeah, there's a nice dog.
Is that a dog?
Yeah,
or I was wondering if it was a kid.
Nope, it's a dog. It's just got beautiful flowing ears.
Right.
It heard us talking. It's very Muppet-like, huh?
Yeah.
So there's a point in the song, and this was going to be the tearaway moment, where there's a big musical build-up, and then he's like, bingo! And so I was going to rip my pants off, and I had bought white men's briefs from the dollar store and had written bingo across the front.
Nice.
So that was going to be the reveal. So I just pulled my pants down for that.
Right.
It was like, bingo. And then, so the next part of the song, building up to the end, is he's just spelling out the word bingo a bunch. He's like, we were B-I-N-G-I-N-G-I-N-G-O. And so I started pulling down my underwear, and underneath it I had a pair of underwear that just had a B on the front. And then under that I had another pair of underwear that just had an I on the front.
Oh my God.
And people started going fucking crazy. And I had N and G, and then I pull it down, and then the last one doesn't have anything on it. And I was looking at it, making a huh face, and then I was like, oh yeah, and I turn around and it's on my butt.
Nice.
And the O was on my butt. People went crazy. But also, so when I'm pulling these off, I'm doing it pretty fast. So now I have 6 pairs of underwear around my knees. And I'm just have to hobble off the stage with 6 pairs of underwear around my knees.
Right.
And sitting in 6 pairs of underwear felt like a thick plaster cast.
Right.
It was really, really packed on there.
Right.
And people were like, how long were you sitting there with that much underwear on? And I was like, not all night, because I was in the second half, so I just put them on during intermission. But yeah,
sounds like it went well.
I think it went well. It went over well. Somebody told me that my act was their favorite when they were on their way out, which is pretty cool, because it was my first time ever performing, and I was somebody's favorite act out of the night.
Wow. That's, you could get hooked.
I know. One could get hooked. I had a pretty intense emotional crash after that, but after the,
An emotional crash as in the pressure was lifted? Or you felt the pressure after the fact, or?
Nothing. I just,
that was a lot.
It was a lot of adrenaline, and then...
Right.
And then once it was over, I was like, I really needed to go home immediately afterwards and just lie down. But I didn't do that because MJ had been like, I hope that you'll stay around and socialize. And so I did for an hour, and then I was like, I gotta go. So,
Well, sounds like a triumph.
Yes.
Great idea with the 6 pairs of underwear.
Thank you.
If I think about it carefully, there's only 5 letters in bingo.
Yeah, but one said bingo on it.
Right.
So that's the 6th one. And I had a 7th pair underneath because I had just my pair that I wasn't removing.
Right. So you didn't go full strippo.
Yes, I didn't go full strippo.
Right.
Which is what they call it in the biz.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. So you've made your drag debut.
Yes. I've made my drag debut.
Right. Were you, trying to channel a little bit of John Goodman?
No, I really was honestly channeling the Jesus more.
The Jesus?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Also from The Big Lebowski.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the Jesus connection.
He's one of the enemy
the bowler.
bowlers. Yeah.
Yeah. Actor's name? John Turturro. Thank you. Him I could remember.
Yes.
Did you know that there is a spin-off that he just did and produced called The Jesus Rolls?
Yes, I know.
I don't know if I watched all of it. I might have watched all of it.
Yeah.
frankly, it's not up to the level of The Big Lebowski, but it has some moments.
I think, I, a youngish person, would say he did that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Yeah.
If the kids are saying.
I don't know if the kids are saying it.
kids.
The kids are saying some weird shit that I don't
Yeah.
understand because
Okay.
I'm not a child.
4, 6.
Nope, 6, 7.
I was close.
6 was in there.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
it's 6, 7.
Right.
Yeah.
No, didn't you hear? They
changed it to 4, 6.
Yeah,
And why?
because they needed to reset the password
Oh, God.
because they were getting hacked.
Uh-huh.
Those two numbers
Yeah.
by 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. What was that woman's name? Oh my God. Not Weinstein.
Weinberg.
Not Weinberg. Not Wahlberg. Wallstein.
Walgreens.
Walgreen. There might have been a green in it.
Yeah, I don't understand the children, but I also know that nobody understood my generation when we were saying dumb shit. So
Right.
There's that.
In every generation, people say dumb shit.
Correct. What were some of yours?
I think even Oh Snap was like after
Oh,
my
snap.
time.
Yeah.
Word,
Word.
which you have done non-ironically.
Correct.
That didn't make it into the edit of 26, by the way. Although it was delightful.
Yeah, I do say
Yeah.
word unironically.
Yeah.
I've said anything that I say, I have to, clear-headed,
Yeah.
clear-eyed go into it knowing that I will start saying it unironically.
Right.
So I can't say something to make fun of young people or to sound out of touch for fun, to be funny.
Right.
I have to, because I'm going to start, it's going to be incorporated into my daily vocabulary without my meaning to. So anything I say, I have to say with the full intention to mean it 100%. So anytime I'm saying some cornball shit that people cringe at because I'm 30 years old and I'm talking like it's still 2010,
Right.
just know your cringes fuel me. They make me stronger. Cringe
Okay.
harder.
Okay. Duly noted. Yeah. Oh, snap. But that was after my day.
Yeah.
What did we say instead of snap? We didn't say word either, because that was a little... I was already a grown-up when word came out.
Yeah. What it is.
It must have been something.
I mean, you grew up through the, you were little during the end of the 50s, but the 60s, 70s, 80s, all of that.
Yeah.
So, disco, the whole, what it is and,
What it is, what it will be.
Yeah. All that good stuff.
Yeah, I have to use you to figure out what I knew when I was a kid. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. You're like an external hard drive.
I'm plugged in, but really deep, the roots of the tree that grew up through the sandbox, kind of plugged in, where it's
we had one,
immovable. Yes, this was a reference to our actual sandbox.
But it wasn't like a tree.
Yeah, we used to have a tree in the back. Remember?
Well, it was a little tree.
No,
the roots.
the roots of the tree. In the back.
That's true, and then they
area.
all populated the sandbox whenever.
It was populated with colonies of different kinds of beautiful, delicate moss and lichen that grew in the semi-darkness under the sun-bleached plastic cover of the sandbox that had not been moved for decades.
Sounds like
because it had literally grown roots, and the lid had not been removed in quite some time, and so the sand was kind of damp, sandy, perfect conditions for growing this beautiful sort of otherworldly scale model of a dune ecosystem.
Everything you just said, to me, I was processing it like free verse.
Yeah.
This is so great. Wonderful. Yeah. Now that you have had, triumph on the stage or whatever.
Yeah, treading the boards.
Performance. Or maybe even before now. Do you now, or have you ever in the past, or have you ever thought of, the grammar's wrong, but, thought of doing stand-up?
Oh, God.
And I think, I feel proud to guess that you would not be an insult comic.
I would not be an insult comic because it's really mean.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
I think I probably liked them when I was young and feckless.
I mean, I feel like I do stand-up every day that I get up in front of a classroom. And my audience is literally the toughest critics you could ever have, which is children.
Yeah.
Because if they don't think you're funny, then you're not funny.
They will eat you alive.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I think genuinely that you have to be a really smart person to be funny. And I think that you could unpack smart in a lot of different ways. Like, there's a lot of problematic stuff there that we could talk about, but I don't want to. And
so don't ask me.
Well, ask me off air.
I'm not going to do it.
Ask me. We'll take this offline. No, it's an important conversation. But I think that you have to be smart to be funny, because you have to, in order to be referential, to make plays on words, whatever, you have to be literate, you have to be quick, witty, whatever. All of this, you need very sharp and mental faculties for that.
Yeah,
and so if somebody's funny, I'm like, that's
respect.
Well, not that I don't respect somebody if they're not funny, but I think that you're smarter if you're funny. And if you're not funny, it doesn't matter how impressive your job might be. Like if you're like some like really number crunching, like you do a lot of work kind of person, if you can't make me laugh, you're like, I'm gonna think that you're like, you're using 5% of your brain.
I thought you were going to say you're using oxygen that...
No, that would be really mean.
Better served.
That would be an insult comic.
So you sound like the students you refer to. Tough crowd. If you're not funny, you're dead to me. All right?
That's the thing. I'm not going to hang out with you is the thing.
Right.
A, and B, also, I'm really funny. And I've already said this.
Yeah.
There are lots of people who don't get my sense of humor. This happened at the show afterwards when I was beat to hell after performing.
Yes. Well, another thing I think that's needed, I mean, kind of along with everything you're saying, in the intelligence department. Welcome to the intelligence department.
Yes.
For being funny, being, whatever, comedy. You have to recognize what is funny about stuff.
Yes, exactly.
But you
have to have good literacy, critical thinking, and also like a wellspring of references on which to draw.
Yeah, I mean, and if you can draw them from just the course of normal life, then that's golden. And then if you have a good delivery.
Yes.
So that you talk about that and people not getting it. So I have to chime in with the time I bombed on Cape Cod.
Yeah.
At the Mosquito, which is like a Moth sort of ripoff. Storytelling event. I've told you about this? You're aware of it?
I'm aware of it. I was probably on that trip, although I was not there.
Yeah, well, just as well, you would have seen your father bomb. Mm-hmm. It's like my stuff was just not working. And I've told stories, and I don't know if I've told that particular one elsewhere, but I've had some good storytelling moments. What
was the story that you told that night?
I'll try to remember. And what was the name of that woman? Never mind. The story I told, I think it might have been, it was about the time I visited a client in immigration detention. This is a story that I had published in the Three Penny Review.
I mean, so when you say it bombed, this wasn't like a funny story.
It wasn't a funny story, although it had it had like a moment, a droll moment or two. It was inherently not that funny, but it's a good story. And so one thing I learned was I had sort of memorized it. I'd been practicing it. So it was like I delivered a written thing because it was originally written. And it was so like rehearsed and polished that I realized, do not do that again when you do storytelling. You want it to be you want to be looser. So that you're having to sort of grab for words in the moment. I mean, it's nice if you kind of know what those words sort of are.
Yeah.
But as far as like reciting,
who will, they'll meticulously plan, so that it sounds improvised.
Yeah, they can pull it off.
The pauses and the
I think Eddie Izzard, his Darth Vader at the canteen, the cafeteria on the Death Star.
Yeah.
I think probably he planned it out to that level because he just can. But it comes across as really spontaneous. Yeah, if you could do that, great. But, I didn't do that. But the other thing I noticed, from the people that went over well, I mean, their stuff was crap. It really was. It just was really schlocky stuff. It was pandering. It wasn't funny. It was cliched. It sucked. It was trash. And it went over well because the crowd wanted to be pandered to. They were, there was definitely everybody was like drunk in the crowd. And they were looking for just light, mindless entertainment. And I did not give them that. And it was just like...
Crickets.
Crickets would have been a vast improvement. I would have been so grateful to hear crickets. It's like, you guys get it.
You'd be like, are there any crickets in the house?
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Yeah, right.
You from out of town?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, so it was like, note to self, do not perform at the Mosquito again.
Mosquito.
Yeah, whoops. I messed up that word. Mosquito.
Yeah.
Right. No, because like even my best stuff on my best day, I was like, you know what? I hate you guys too. It's
Yes.
Fuck you.
Well,
it's symmetrical.
that thing of like, anything.
We're even.
It's like I've seen what you. Who was it? There was some comedian or whatever who was like, I've seen what you guys laugh at, and don't laugh at my stuff. Actually,
I did not. I'm not familiar with that, but I'll look it up. I can relate. Yeah. This works both ways, my friends. It was, but to be less egotistical and emotional about this, it was the wrong story for that crowd. And I'm a little tempted to say for that night, but I have a feeling that might have been a typical night for that place.
Well, so here's the thing. It's like beach reads, right? People want, like, trashy romance novels or like, murder mysteries or whatever. Pulp fiction. That's what they want for the beach. You don't want to think too hard about it?
Right.
Sounds like that's what they wanted. They wanted the beach read of
storytelling. Yeah. So this would be where we pull it all together, whatever it was. Go. Yeah, I don't know. Tough, a heavy lift this time.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't really find a thread in this.
No, but we have
comedy performance.
30 seconds. Performance.
Anybody who bears their soul on stage, no matter how badly they bomb, they are doing what is like the number one fear in the world, the thing that people have the most stress dreams over.
Right. People fear death less.
Yeah, you don't know how hard it is until you're up there. So as much as I can be like,
don't do what you're doing. Yeah,
I could do whatever you're doing better. No, I could not, because I freeze up when anybody puts a microphone in front of my face. So no matter how, insult comedy or punching down or like being shitty, using your platform to make other people's lives harder is bad. But if you're just bad at what you do, you are doing the hardest thing in the world. So even you doing it bad means that you're still doing it better than people who don't do it.
And there we have the inevitable Mal closing button positivity. Mm-hmm. Non-British.
Non-British positivity.
Thank God.
Thank
All right, well,
God.
Kawa, you know what?
Okay, I love you.
I love you too.
Get home safe.
And you as well.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn this sucker off.
Okay. Do you think we got anything usable?
I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out.